I'm Steele. I'm with ELR-Precision. Welcome to the Vector Optics 3 to 18 by 50 Continental. Here we have a Vector Optics Continental 3 to 18 by 50. This is a relatively cheap scope, and that's why it's in the reasonably priced scope series. This scope has one major flaw, and that is that it's a SFP. Only at 10 power on the Vector Optics Continental 3 to 18 by 50, you have mills that actually make sense, and that kind of sucks. So I would never go with an SFP, but now I have them because some guys run SFP scopes. Some of the F-class shooters actually use SFP scopes. The zoom on the Vector Optics Continental 3 to 18 by 50 is actually quite good. I like it. It's got a nice tautness to it. It works well up and down. You get a parallax adjustment, on the other hand, that is a little bit too taut for my liking. It goes from 10 through 500 on to infinity, and that's all well and good. You get elevation turrets that are exposed, and the build quality also seems to be quite decent. You get a scope where everything except for the little rubber down here is made of metal, and everything looks good. Everything seems to be high quality, everything seems to be made of metal, and the turrets are lockable, so you can lock them. They're both lockable, so that's good. And when looking at, this is an illuminated scope, so you can go 6 power. I mean, this is not really visible in this light, which is okay. When we have a scope like this, you also want to be able to use your towers, and they work quite decently, except for that. This also has a fault, just like we saw it on the Vortex Diamondback Tactical. It's got a weird top. The difference between the Vortex Diamondback Tactical and this is that I've already spoken with the Vector Optics team, and they've sent me a replacement scope. Alright, here we are with the replacement that Vector Optics sent me in the faulty Continental's place. This is a Gen 2. As far as I see, there are some rather major differences between the original, which is there, and the replacement I received. The original has small, scrawny turrets. The replacement has beefier, bigger turrets. The original does not have a zero stop. The Gen 2, or the replacement, does have a zero stop. See, it says so right there. The original does not have well, I guess that's where the similarities or the differences end. The build quality of the new replacement scope is just still a Vector Optics Continental 3 to 18 by 56 in the second focal plane. It's still got a 30mm tube, it's still got a 50mm objective lens, but we do have some, if you ask me, better turrets. It also comes with, and I should have shown you that on the, it's now 10, 20, 30, 32.1 mils, which is not bad. That's actually in the range of the higher end scopes. You get still a lockable turret on the windage. Get quite a bit of adjustment on the... Oh man, that's stuck. Oh, it's broken. Perfect. That's broken. Well, I guess we'll see how the vector optics, because this was the replacement for the one that was broken. We'll see how the vector optics service team works when they get. Well, it's broken. Oh, there it went. We're back. Jeez. We're back. Alrighty. Alright, it just got stuck. So, here we go back again. Got quite a decent, well, to me, still, because of what you just saw. That really, that's not a quality scope that does that. But I guess, yeah. Anyway, we still got to do all the other stuff. So the glass in it is not all that bad. It actually gives a good picture. It's a little dark, but it's not that bad. And looking at distance, that's the 2K, the 2 kilometer target out there. That's my camera messing it up. It's actually quite clear. I like that. But still, you can only count on the SFP at 10 power. So that's there. And at 10 power, where you need your mill reticle to do wind calls and see where you've hit to correct for that, that's not enough. You got to go to 18 for it to be enough, and at 18 you can't use your mill reticle. So you decide, do you want a SFP scope or do you want an FFP scope? An FFP scope is a first focal plane where the reticle enlarges when you zoom, because the mills are following the zoom. So this still has light, not very visible at this time, so I'm gonna have to do a nighttime test of that. So this is the light up against a very white sky on a pine tree, and we're going from, this is with the 1 setting, you can't really see that at all, and at the 6 power setting it's very clear. And the update to this version of scope, or the Gen 2 of the Continental 3D 18x50, also has the entire reticle lit up, not just the center cross or the center dot, which is also good. What is not so cool is that you can see if we can get the camera to catch that there's a lot of light on the sides of the tube. So when you do have your eye on it, there's a lot of light right out here along this edge right here. That's all light pollution from that center reticle being lit up. You have to look into if that's etched or not, but it's quite clear through the for the human eye, even with the camera, so that's quite decent. But that was really surprised to me, the way that the elevation got stuck. I'm going to make it stuck again. does dive out there. Oh, there we go. Stuck. Ah, that's funny. Ah! Oh, that was just me having fun. Alright, so we've had a couple of experiences with the Vector Optics Continental 3-18x50, and what I can report is that the service team from Vector Optics have absolutely no flaws. I've been in contact with Vector Optics a couple of times now, first on the first scope, now on the second scope, and what they've done is they've sent me a replacement scope. It's the same scope as this one, and I'm hoping to get my hands on some of the bigger models. This I have not have opened. I just ripped this off. I should have done that, but whatever. And this is a brand new scope. Get a couple of things in there. This is not an unboxing, or else it is. I'm not quite sure. But they sent me a replacement for this scope. I will be testing this scope in the same fashion and in the same manner that I do the others, to see whether or not this is a prominent problem with the Vector Optics 3-18x50, or if it's just me that's been unlucky and gotten some Monday model scopes. There's a saying in Denmark that sometimes noen ganger har det bare mandagsmodeller. Monday model. So we'll see if the, come on, there we go. We'll see if the, what is the, I guess everything in here is the same as the other one. The bikini covers, again, hate them, never use them, as in ever. Good sunshade, make a really long sunshade now. It's just a tool, extra turret cap with no numbers on. Anyway, now we have a couple of these. They're exactly the same, aren't they? Yeah, exactly the same. So we'll see whether or not the new Continental 3-18x50 will fare any better than previously. Scores: the illumination gets a 5. It's a little bit of a problem that it lights up the entire reticle. It's good that, or it lights up the entire house, pollutes the house with so much light when it's on the 6 power. It has good nighttime illumination because the 1 power setting is so dim, and it's got good daytime illumination because the 6 power is so bright. The flooding light pollution of the house is kind of an issue. So that gets a 5. The parallax is quite good. I like the tautness of it. It goes from 10 to 500 on to infinity. That gets a 6. The turrets, because of what we've seen in this film, I will give it a revamp in filming on the new Vector Optics Continental 3-18x50 that they sent me, just to give it an extra chance. That'll be a separate video. Version 2.0, I guess. But on this one and on the previous one, they cannot get more than a 4. They do click decently. They have a decent amount of travel. They're a little bit mushy on their clicks. They do have a 0 stop, but the problem with them veering off and getting stuck, I mean, that's just no more than a 4. The eye relief is quite good. It doesn't really mind so much. It's easy to find where you want to be, so I think that's going to be our high flyer at 7. The glass is a 6. It's a little bit dark. It doesn't collect that much light. That of course has something to do with the 50mm objective lens, and the zoom to me is a little bit too taut. Give that a 6. Would be nice with the throw lever on there. That's something for Vector Optics to take into consideration, putting a throw lever on there. And overall, because of the huge problem with the turrets, because of the flooding of the house with the light, I'm not going to give this an overall score more than 4. Again, I will revisit the Vector Optics with the replacement scope that they've sent to me, and I will give it a second chance, just to be fair. But with this one and the previous one, those are the scores. Yeah. Anyway, until next time, stay tuned and stay safe.